Well, hey there, my friend. In this tutorial, I'm going to show you how to make this really fun and easy picture vase. And I am going to be featuring a graduation theme here. There is going to be a full supply list and resources for these templates linked below for you. And we're going to get started first in Cricut Design Space. Okay, my friend, so I am going to show you just a couple things to know when you're setting up this SVG cut file. You don't have to follow all these tips. You could totally have, if you have your own photos that you just want to cut down for these frames, that's fine. But there is a way with these templates to actually insert the photo and then perform the print and cut. So I just want to cover that here with the template. So the template is part of our classic grad edit collection for our A-Star crafters. So you can go and download that linked below. And there's lots of other projects in that collection as well, like cake toppers and gift boxes and things you're going to love. But for now, I'm going to go ahead and just upload this SVG file here. I've already downloaded it, and I'm going to bring it over here via our upload button. And we're going to drop this here into Cricut Design Space, and I'm going to zoom out here. Now, you can, of course, scale this to different sizes if you wish. So what I recommend is that you ungroup first. So right-click to ungroup and assess the size. So like this is the bottom. So this basically means this is going to be like we'll call it almost 6-inch vase in terms of like its width and how wide it's going to be at the bottom, because this is the base. And then the height of this here is about a little over 8 inches. Keep in mind that this tab along the bottom is going to fold, so it's probably going to be slightly under 8 inches. That's a pretty big vase once you put this together. It's not small at all. The one that's in my photo for this project, I set it at like 7 inches high. So if you are wanting to adjust scale, you want to do that now, and you want to do it as a group. So I'm going to click and drag over everything and scale as a group. I'll just take this down. I'm going to click off, and then I'll click on one of these elements and see where we're at. I'm going to go down just a little bit more. Okay, that's a little closer to what I have in my actual example for the project here, so we're going to go with that, but feel free to make your own adjustments. The other setup you're going to need to know is to change these lines that you see here to score lines, and then to attach them to the base here. In my case, it's the gold piece. So you're going to want to select each one of these and come up to the operation and change it to score. And once you do this, make sure that you do save this project, so that if you ever want to make additional copies or come back to this another day, you never need to re-import. You never need to like go through this setup process again. It's done, and you can just go straight to making the project. So once you have it, for example, I'm just going to do this on one of these. Once you have these score lines set, you're going to want to select the score lines and the base element here. So like right here, we have all three of these score lines in our layers panel. I'm going to hold my shift key on my keyboard, and I'm just going to select those. And then I'll also select this base piece here. So you can see we've got the base and the three score lines. And we're going to use the attach tool at the bottom of the layers panel. And this is just going to hold the placement of those score lines so that they don't shift on us when we go to actually cut this out. It's going to score exactly where we want it to score. And this whole thing just jumped forward here, which is totally fine. We can just come up to the arrange tool at the top and click send to back, and it'll put it back in that visual arrangement. It didn't actually do anything there. You could still cut it out as is, but just for those of you who want it back to the way it is. And then I would follow suit with these other elements and pieces here. The last prep that you can do in this step is technically optional. If you have photos lying around that you want to cut down to size, you can totally do that too. But this white piece right here in the example, this is not meant to be cut out. This is meant to represent where your photograph could go. So if you're planning to cut your photographs out and just put them right on yourself, like cut them with a straight cutter or whatever, then go ahead and just delete all of those white pieces, okay? If, however, you would like to clip your image into this rectangle and then have Cricut print then cut your images, so it would print out your photos that you import here, and then Cricut would cut around in this rectangle that we're going to use here, then you could totally go through that process, and that is the process I'm going to use. So to do that, I'm going to return to my upload button here. I'm going to click upload. And I have just some stock example photos here, and I'm just going to drag this over. So you would need to have your photos be digital. Most of them are, right? They're on our phones or whatever, and we're able to just import them over to our computers and send them to ourselves. And so we'll click continue. And this is considered an image as opposed to a vector graphic, an SVG cut file. So we are going to get a bit of a different upload process here. You shouldn't need to do anything at these points. You should be able to just hit apply and continue and carry this all the way through. You are going to want to select flat graphic here. We don't want just the silhouette, and we're not trying to convert it to multiple layers. So we're going to hit continue. If you want to give it a different name, you can. Again, this is just an example photograph. And I'm going to click upload, and then it's going to bring it into Cricut Design Space. And this is a pretty high resolution image, so it's going to take just a second to load, and then it may come in quite large. This one didn't come in too crazy. I've seen them come in much bigger. But we are going to need to adjust this scale. So I'm going to come to any one of these corners here with this selected, and we'll scale it down, kind of gauging the size a bit here. And what we want to do is we want to clip this image into the white rectangle that we have here. Now, there are other ways to do this with things like patterns, but I find that it's quite temperamental most of the time, and this process is just so much simpler. So I like simple. So what we're going to do here is this currently, this white block is falling behind. So I'm going to bring it forward, bring it to the front. And I'm just going to sit it over the portion of the image that I want. And I can scale this down a little bit, let it fit a little bit better, like that. So just make sure that that image is covering the white block completely. There's nothing kind of like, it's not sitting like this or anything. You want it to be sitting all within that white block area. Then click and drag over both of those. So we've got our image, which you can see here is print and cut process. And then we've got our picture frame, base piece here, our element that is what we're going to clip into. With both of those selected, come down here to the bottom of the layers panel and click slice. And then I want you to start pulling this apart. So we have our original, we have the excess, and then we have this result, and this result is what we want. So we can get rid of this. You can even delete this at this stage. And this now is going to replace where that white was. And you would go ahead and repeat this process for your other photos. And then you can either just, permanently delete these white ones as you use them, or you can even just hide one over here in the layers panel. If you wish to just have a copy and then bring it back whenever you want, you could totally do that too. So that's the setup you need to know. Again, make sure, we'll actually call this picture vase because you don't have to use it for graduation. I'm featuring graduation here, but you could do this for any occasion you want. So we'll call it picture vase. We'll save that. So once the setup is done, we don't ever have to do it again. And we'll click make. Now you can use any of the current models of cutting machines with this that work with print and cut if you're following this print and cut process. If you happen to have like a Joy machine or a Joy Extra machine, you could still use this. You're just going to be limited by size. And if you're using the Joy Original, that one does not do print and cut, so you need to just add your photos outside of using Cricut to help you with that. So then we would just go through the cutout process here. So this would be print and cut. So we would actually send this to our printer. And when we go to the next screen, it would give us a print option. We'd print it out, and then Cricut's going to cut around that. And I'll show you what that looks like in just a minute. And then we would go down each of these here and we would cut these out. And you don't have to follow this color, selection. Cut them in any colors you would like that match for your theme and your style, or how you might be using this particular picture base. So let's go ahead and move on to assembly now. Okay, so I've got my items printed out here. You could do these photos in black and white or colored. I am going to feature the colored in mine just because I really like that look, but black and white would be beautiful too for a variety of different occasions. So I've already got this printed out through my inkjet printer. There's 4 photos fitted on this one here as opposed to the one you saw in my screen share example, and I'm going to get all 4 of them cut out at once. I'm also using this really pretty glitter cardstock and a black cardstock to cut out the additional elements as well. So you would go matte by matte to cut out all of these elements, and then you could use your scoring stylus or scoring wheel, depending on your cutting machine, to be able to get these scored as well. Okay, so my print and cut is done, and I'm just going to peel the mat away from my printed photos here, and I'll set those aside so that I can go ahead and assemble my vase. The vase assembly is super easy. You're gonna fold along all of those score lines. I am using a glitter cardstock here, so the score lines, I can definitely tell where they're at, but sometimes it takes a little extra just investigation to note where those score lines are. It's especially easy with regular cardstock. You could also use metallic cardstock here, which I think would be really nice too. So I'm going to be using a hot glue gun here just because this is a glitter cardstock and I want it to kind of grab rather easy. And I'm going to line up each side of my vase. You're going to see there are 4 different sides to the vase because it's obviously a square. And you'll see tabs on 2 of the 4 that are going to connect to the other ones that do not have those tabs. So go piece by piece and just add glue along those tabs and work your way around. Okay, so I am closing all of those 4 sides together there on the last side. And then next I'm gonna add the bottom on. So I'll flip the whole thing upside down and make sure those tabs are folded in, add some glue, and then place this square onto the bottom to complete our vase. So here's what we have. I'm gonna flip that over. The essence of our shape and our vase is complete. And next I'm going to take some liquid craft glue. You could use like a scrapbooking tape as well. And I'm just gonna glue each photo to, in my case, the black cardstock here. You could do a different color. It just adds a nice little framed edge and it gives it a finishing touch. So I'll glue all of those together. And I think this would be really beautiful for so many different occasions. You could do it for baby showers, for bridal showers, for weddings, so many different things. It would be great. And then you're gonna see in the vase here that there's just these little slots. And all you're gonna do is slide each of the corners into those slot cutouts on each side of the vase. Be patient with this. It does take a minute to kind of get it settled into place. Please note that if you change the scale of these at all, they may not sit properly in there, so I do not recommend changing the scale of them. Stick with the scale. And here's a final look at how this vase turned out. I'm also going to show you how I would make my Diana style paper rose here. You're going to find this linked with the Classic Grad collection as well. You're going to need 7 cutouts, a minimum of 7 cutouts to make one of these roses. And with these roses, you can use something like a thin wood dowel. This is a 1/4 inch wood dowel or even a spare glue stick or a pencil. And you're just going to curl each petal point around that wood dowel or pencil or glue stick. I like to tuck each one of the petals in on itself and kind of give it a little twist at the bottom so that the petals want to stand up. And then I'm going to grab my hot glue gun here and I'll place down one petal layer on top of the other, making sure to alternate those petal points so it looks like it's opening and blooming. You're going to repeat this process for all 7 of these layers. 7 is what I'm using here, but you do not have to use 7 if it comes together well at 6, or you find that you have extra space in the center and you want to add an 8th layer. By all means, please do so. Everybody's flower comes together a bit differently. There is a more in-depth tutorial on the Diana Rose. If you would like a little bit more progressive step-by-step and you're totally new to paper flowers, then you may want to go check that out. This last petal here, I'm actually going to fold the petals down away and I'm going to place it on the bottom of the flower, alternating those petal points again so that it kind of looks like the petals have fallen a bit and gravity has taken hold of them. And let's go ahead and stem this. So you'll see in these templates that there are, there's a leaf sepal piece here, and I'm just gonna curl that a little bit with my Cricut scraper tool, or you could use a wood dowel as well. And I'm going to take some 18 gauge floral wire and bend it at the tip and form a little circle. It's gonna look something like that. And then we're gonna thread it up our wire. So I've just punched a little hole through the center and I'm going to thread it up the wire and add some hot glue at the top. Be fairly generous with your hot glue here. And then we're going to place the rose head on top and you want to hold it for a good 20 seconds to let it grab. Next, we're going to place in a foam square into our vase so that we have something to stick our paper roses into. And you can't really see down much into the vase, but if you want to get something like to fill it, to cover it there, you could absolutely do that too. I'm not going to worry too much about it because mine gets really full and you can't see in it at all. And I'm going to start placing in these flowers. Now you might be noticing here, I have another flower I'm featuring. This is my white gardenia flower. This white gardenia is also available. The information is going to be linked below and it's part of the collection. So you'll be able to find this flower that pairs very well with this. And I'm just adding these in bit by bit, arranging this along with some additional leaf cutouts that you'll see with these templates. And if you want more information on making paper flowers and more in-depth beginner tutorials, make sure you check out A-Star Crafters and the rest of my YouTube channel because there's loads of content on it. All right, so here's how this turned out. We've got our beautiful black and white gardenia and black roses, and then we have our vase featuring our photographs. How much do you love this project? I just thought it was so simple, but yet so beautiful and great for a celebration. I featured graduation here, but you could absolutely feature so many different occasions and special celebrations. I would love to know how you use this. You can find supplies, resources for these templates, and more linked below. I'll see you there, my friend. Bye for now.